Hey! In this video, we'll see how to set up Touché with any hardware synth, thanks to Lie. Please make sure you're familiar with the notions explained in the previous tutorial videos. Touché has built-in MIDI and CV outputs. If we connect Touché to a power source with its USB cable, it can talk to our synthesizers without being connected to a computer. By default, Touché sends 4 MIDI CC messages, one for each shifting. Top is 17, bottom is 16, left is 18 and right is 19. Touché also sends a voltage of 0 plus 5 volts through its CV outputs by default. Each CV output is assigned to one shifting. CV1 is bottom, CV2 is top, CV3 is right, and CV4 is left. But this is only Touché's default setup. Lie lets us customize this behavior and save up to 24 different hardware presets inside Touché's internal memory. For that, we need to connect Touché to the computer and open Lie. To create a new hardware preset, open the menu and select New Hardware Preset. The first thing we can see is that a hardware preset is very similar to a software preset, but has two pages, MIDI and CV. On the MIDI page, we find the 8 slots of the slot center. In the drop-down list of each slot, we can select CC messages, for instance 27 and 28. But selecting CC messages can be a bit painful because we have to find what each CC means in the manual of our synthesizer. That's why Lie also comes with hardware presets for a selection of synthesizers. We can find these presets in the browser. When we double-click on one of them, we can see on each slot that instead of a list of CC numbers, we have the actual names of the parameters, which is way more useful. So let's select cutoff and LFO depth, for instance. Then we can assign one of the 4 shiftings to each slot, for instance top and right, and set minimum and maximum values, just like for a software preset. If we click on the eye icon, we can also select the MIDI channel for this preset. The CV page is a bit different. Instead of 8 slots, there's only 4 slots, one for each CV out. So we have CV1, CV2, CV3 and CV4. On each of them, we can set a different voltage output by using the drop-down list. As we can see, each CV out is assigned to one shifting by default, but we can also change that. Finally, we can set maximum and minimum values as well, which will reduce the minimum and maximum voltage that the selected CV output sends. Now let's talk a bit about sensitivity curves. A very important feature of Lie is the ability to have sensitivity curves. Each slot has a curve symbol. Clicking on it will display the currently selected curve for that slot. Now, if we click on the curve, the scope will display more information. How the curve works is rather simple. The white dot moves from left to right when we press on the shifting we assign for this slot, in this case, the top shifting. The vertical axis represents the value of the parameter. Here, we are in a CV page, so the vertical axis represents voltage output. If the curve is linear, the more we press, the greater the voltage. But we can invert this curve, and now, if we press, the voltage decreases. We can also bend the curve from linear to logarithmic or exponential, or select a curve preset from the list. We can even undraw the curve for special effects, like gates. We've seen that in a hardware preset, you have 2 pages, MIDI and CV. In these pages, you can choose which CC and voltages Touché sends, along with minimum and maximum values and sensitivity curves. All of that forms one hardware preset, and to save it, we go to Menu, Save as Preset, and give it a name. It now appears in the browser like any other preset. Now, if we want to use this preset with our synthesizer without having to connect Touché to the computer, we need to save our preset inside Touché's internal memory. For that, while Touché is still connected to the computer, we go to Menu, Memory View. This window displays all the 24 memory slots of Touché, 6 banks of 4 presets. Each bank has its own color, and the number of dots represents the number of the preset. Let's save our preset in the green bank, second preset. We click on the text field to select it, then double-click on the preset we want to save, and click on Save in Touché. The preset is now saved in the green bank, preset 2. We can now quit Lié, which will put Touché in standalone mode. Touché is in standalone mode whenever it is powered and not connected to Lié. In this mode, Touché will read the preset from its internal memory that is currently selected. By default, it's the preset 1 from blue bank, but we want the preset 2 from green bank. To reach the preset 2 from green bank, we need to click on the right button of Touché until 2 green LEDs are lit, which means that we are on the preset 2 of the green bank. Thanks for watching.